past few videos, we've got to look over the car, we've got to start the car. Today, we're about to get our hands dirty. As we know, this car was hit on the right-hand side, which means all the damage is primarily gonna be on the right-hand side of the car. I'm gonna start by taking off this front bumper and really overlooking this area to find all the bits and pieces that have been crashed. And we're gonna keep a lookout for any small things that could have been tangled up during the crash. And before this video goes any farther, if you haven't followed my Instagram, be sure to do that because we post updates with this car, as well as give you guys behind the scene looks at what's going on. All right, with this front bumper off, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look on the inside because I know that there is a wire harness that is responsible for the LED lights and all the motion sensors, and I just wanted to see how much of it got destroyed. Now, it looks like it unclips from the middle here, which is good that it is unclipped and not destroyed, because it looks like most of this harness is intact. This clip broke off of here, that's really no big deal. A few of the inside clips are a little bit mangled up, like this one right here is completely folded, kind of gross, but really not that. Oh, there you go. So all of that tore off, which is probably what the inside fender liner goes to. It's torn up just a little bit, but not that bad. The fact that we have the harness is huge. I'm gonna start by showing you guys the driver's side because the driver's side front corner is intact. Now we're gonna be studying this side before we look at the other side so we can kind of look at some key differences here. But one thing that I'm noticing that's a little bit odd off the bat is that this radiator is actually tilted back. I thought it would be sitting straight upright, but it's actually tilted this and like this a little bit. I'm not too sure how much you can pick that up on camera. That's something pretty odd that I didn't initially think or would realize off the bat, but that's pretty interesting to see that that's tilted. You have some sort of heat exchanger here. Not sure what it could be for, but it could be, it almost looks like an intercooler, but this thing is not turboed or has any sort of forced induction from the factory. And then you go over to the passenger side. Now I can tell off the bat that this has cracked off and I don't even know what's holding this in. Ooh, it's actually some of the harness, so I can actually unclip that. But two coolers here. There's a radiator of some sort and an oil cooler. I'm not sure what they are exactly, but you can see here from the insurance claim, all these teal markings are what they marked as broken pieces. So this skeleton frame is actually loose, which looks like that's what took most of the damage. There's a bracket here that holds in the radiator support, the little bumper. This corner piece, plastic piece that kind of holds all of it together is cracked. This headlight has a little more damage underneath. I thought it was mainly just the lens right here, but it's actually cracked on the bottom, which means if it's open, it could get condensation and eventually will die. So we're gonna start by unbolting this stuff. We still have to take the wheels off because there's obviously some broken pieces in there, but my initial look, really not that bad. A few surface level things to replace. On the 458, this tow hook right here was like so crushed that we couldn't even use it anymore. When we got our new one in, that is still straight. You could still fit a tow hook in there, which is pretty rad. It looks like these two pieces are actually, yep, so they're separate. So this is this whole plastic shroud. It's nice that it's in 3 separate pieces because when we go to replace this corner one, it's separate. So it's not all one piece, which will make our life a little bit easier. Now we're gonna move to the rear of the car once we kind of figure out the front, but I did notice some damage over the weekend that I wanted to show you guys that is a little bit of a bummer and it might be a pain in the butt a little bit later down the line, but there is a little bit of rough edges on this rear bumper. And if there's damage here, you have to look farther down the car to see if there's anything else. And as we were going down, that gapping looks pretty good. The gapping looks pretty good. But if you look on the top side, the gapping here is actually pretty tight. You can look here and then you can look over here and the gapping is not the same. So I don't know where exactly the main issue is, if maybe a clip's broken or maybe there's a little bit of rear skeletal frame that's bent. Not quite sure. Not the best thing to find out, but we'll get to this when we take the rear bumper off. With the headlight off, we get a really good view view of what the front structure looks like. And it's very similar to the 458, meaning you have your two beams coming off the car, and then you pretty much have these skeleton cages. These skeleton cages hold the radiators, it holds the bumper fasteners, it has the headlight mount, all of that stuff. But what's really neat about the R8 compared to the 458 is the 458 was all welded on arms here, but the R8 is actually bolted. We're gonna get to it in just a second. This whole entire cage that is cracked and bent and destroyed is actually unbolted from the frame, and the hinges from the frame look really good. So that's gonna be a super easy fix. And actually, a channel known as Alex Rebuilds reached out to me, and I was actually watching some of his videos on my Twitch stream last week. He was like, hey, I actually have an R8 that I'm parting out right now, and I'm about to FaceTime him because he has a lot of these parts on the shelf, which is gonna make our lives so much easier. So we're gonna give him a call real quick and see what parts he has available so we can buy it from him.
Sounds good. I'm gonna take care of the car here at Copart, and I'll be at the shop.
All right, sweet. Talk to you in a sec. He's a little busy at the moment. He'll call us back and we'll go over it. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking off the radiator and the AC condenser. Luckily, the AC condenser is still intact, meaning there is still a charge, there's still an AC charge, which is a good thing and a bad thing. One, it means we have to be a little bit more careful when we're moving all this stuff. We're gonna try to get the AC condenser off of the car while keeping everything connected enough so we can remove the radiator, if that makes sense. And so we have a little bit of place. We should be able to move the radiator or get the radiator off, but we haven't figured out how to drain the coolant yet. We thought there would be a drain plug underneath the radiator, and there's not. You know how?
Drill a hole in the intake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
It's actually a,
Not a bad.
I would do it.
Not a bad
That's
idea.
actually a decent idea.
Not a bad idea.
It's already destroyed.
Thank you, Papa. Papa Mick.
Should I do it?
Send it, dude.
All right, I'm gonna get a bucket and we're gonna drain it by ruining it. This is a plastic end tank. Imagine it like an intercooler. There are end tanks on the side, which is where it like will flow from. Don't know why they're plastic, but it's gonna help us in this. So I'm just gonna drill a hole through the bottom of it. Oh yeah. Destructive mean speed.
Oh. Yeah.
Pissed all over me. So keep in mind,
bud.
this was already destroyed. It's been leaking in the same exact area. So we're gonna let this drain. And we'll get back to you guys when it's done draining. Take a look at that.
Oh, wait.
Oh. So before this radiator comes out, Calvin is trying to get the hose disconnected. And while I was looking at the hose, I noticed the radiator is here.
Oh my God.
But it is linked together through this intercooler looking radiator. So I can only assume what I can see. I could be wrong, but it looks like there's 3 radiators. Radiator on the side behind this cooler, and then the same fluid that the radiator uses goes through this heat exchanger, which is another radiator, I think, which then goes to this one. So there's 3 radiator setups. I'm not quite sure. If anyone knows, leave some information down below. Inform us, educate us, please.
How many did the Ferrari only had 2?
Only had 2.
Only had 2. Maybe this needs a lot of cooling. I wonder how many the Urcon has, dude.
I would imagine the same.
You know, half off. That's what it has, half off. You're right, Teach. Not all of it. Oh, there's a forgot there's another hose back there.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, good eye, good eye.
Take it with you. Radiator. Ow! Get out of here! Get out of town. Hoser! Chacharoach! That's
Radiator officially removed, boys.
How many times do I have to tell you, chat? Do not donate when there's a clip. Dad is upset. You're gonna be put up for adoption. TJ won't put you up for adoption. We're a team, TJ. Don't be adopting my up for adoption children.
These are a ton of nice blooper clips.
Okay? So just like the 458, we had to replace this part, but again, like TJ said, it was welded. Fortunately, on the R8, it's not. It's bolted, and one of them is broke. So we got one less bolt to do. There's 2 here and 2 over here.
We actually can do it right here. Yeah, on the underside, see 1, 2 right here.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. You're right.
And then we have the bottom.
You're right
already
though,
broke.
Tej. Man, look at Tej. TJ, you don't even need me anymore, dude.
What?
You don't even need me anymore.
I'll
be here. I'll be here. I'll be here.
I ain't nothing without my Nino, baby.
Oh no! It was dying, and that was a dead meme. And then you had to say it. You could at least called me a chacharoach. I'd rather be called a chacharoach than a Nino. Let's go. Now I'm. You gotta believe that. I'm. God damn it! TJ? Now chat is gonna say it. Was it a bit aggressive there, bud? Oh! Garbage. We're getting rid of the trash, Sabrina.
The only thing that is like I'm questioning is this tab right here. We have to like re-weld another one in here.
At the bottom?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh.
So like how did...
Evan can do that.
Well, I don't know if we cut that out. I don't...
Oh, maybe if you take it to the frame shop, they might be able to.
I know, well they're gonna have to. I don't know how they do it, but they might be able to fix something in there. Because that's part of the frame and it's like kind of destroyed, so
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure,
Dude,
but...
it's sweaty out here. How are you guys working out here?
I don't have any clothes on.
Boots in the summer? What are you doing?
I gotta look fresh, Sabrina. You wear tube tops in the winter, okay? Please. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Now that we're towards the rear of the car, I'm gonna go ahead and just start removing the fender liners to get to the rear bumper, just like the Ferrari. I keep referencing the Ferrari because these cars are pretty much the same, the cars are pretty much all designed the same. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm saying like the general dynamics of how this is gonna work. So we're gonna remove all these fender liners, which are a million pieces of hardware that we're gonna get to. And then from there, we'll probably see some brackets, which we can start removing. So we're gonna time lapse this one and time lapse the other one. Rear bumper off. Just want to say, taking off the rear bumper on the R8, so much easier than the Lambo, so much easier than the 458. Really, really enjoyable, and the fact that it was only like 10 bolts once you got the fender liners off. Most of the stuff is still pretty covered up. We still can't really see any of the exhaust at all yet. These are big boys. So we're gonna have to go a little bit deeper than this. We're gonna have to get to these taillights to try to see what is damaged over here, because there's actually a lip there. I don't know if you can really see that. It's not really flush, so we gotta keep digging, do a little more deconstructing, and find out why this is not straight. And something that I'm looking for off the bat is, did we break this rear bumper bracket? And my first thoughts on looking at it is no, we didn't, which really means it can't be that bad of a crash because none of that is damaged. We're missing one clip here which threads into the rear bumper placement, or where the bolt goes to hold the rear bumper. But the fact that this bracket isn't cracked or chipped anywhere is a really good sign.
I didn't think of that. I didn't think that. Usually, yeah, so this is like an indicator most of the time. Like over there it was. Good eye, mate, good eye.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked.
I'm happy.
But you see how the rear taillight sits a little bit deeper than the body panel? Do you notice that?
Yeah, and there's also a little monk.
Yeah, so
right
I think our next step is try to remove these taillights, and these pieces all bolt off. Because I know you can change the wing out. I know it's just bolted underneath here. We need to figure out how to remove all this next. Which
that's a lot of
I think we might have to tear this off.
Yeah, we have to take
to look underneath.
all of that off. So as we were going through the car, we needed to take this grill off where the air intake is, and we noticed that it was colliding against this carbon piece. And what we were told is this just pulls straight out. But if this carbon piece was in the way, we would break that, and TJ would be big sad. So we don't want that. I went ahead and took apart, we're gonna take this carbon piece out, which this is in the way. I already went ahead and took all the 3 bolts, 6 or 7 bolts out. Pull up and out, and boom, huge.
Damn.
All good.
Yeah, one thing that we were noticing is this car has so much carbon dress up in the engine bay. And actually more than the C8. The C8 has a few carbon pieces, but not only, you can't really see because it's so dirty. That's all carbon. These whole side panels are carbon. And then even that back half below the window, that's all carbon too. So a lot of really cool dress up, and there's even engine bay lights, which I'm assuming at night it lights up the engine bay. This Audi is really making me happy because it's just so well thought out. and so much more, like, I feel like we have a really good like value for this, for the dollar amount. Crazy.
Half off. You want an Urcon?
You want a half off Urcon? This is the move,
Half
boys.
off.
So we're gonna be removing this panel just because we're trying to check the fitment, but even just loosening this up, all of the gapping that looked a little bit rough is kind of looking better. So it looks like it's all, should just be body paneling. Nothing should be broken. We're really coming up good on the amount of damage on this. I'm very, very happy with the amount of damage we're finding because it's very minimal. Come on, Dud. Don't rev it, but just give us a nice start.
Okay, to the front.
Oh yeah, huh? Sorry.
Okay, this car's just as bad, okay? Please, don't make that face. This car is so bad. I don't like loud noises.
Because Calvin doesn't want to be responsible for breaking it, I'll be the one to do it. Allegedly, there's just like 3 pins right here that are really, really annoying to get to, and you just lift up.
And you just lift up, and you... Ah! 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 Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
oh. Can you disconnect me?
I don't know where it disconnects, Dad.
Oh, do we have to undo all that just to disconnect it?
I think so.
Or can I just like... So I was told that getting this wing off is a real pain because there's a bunch of hidden bolts. One thing I don't know, that I could just be silly for thinking this, I don't know if this wing is active.
No,
I
it's
think
not.
it might be because it's its own thing. Like
No.
why would they make it its own piece?
It's not.
It's not active.
I don't think so. It could be. Like,
I would enjoy it to be. I'd
I
prefer it.
don't think it could be on this car, but I think it could be on another spec.
No, this is the highest spec. If anything, it would have it
Okay,
on this
then
car.
it doesn't know.
You don't think it's active?
No.
Why not?
There's no scissoring action going. There's no scissors.
I don't know. What about this?
There's no scissors, Steve. I don't think so, dude.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, this is gonna be the fun part for us, Cal.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, yeah?
Good luck to us.
No, you.
Okay.
No, like you. I had to check out before 11. My hotel, like I can't. The way that my debit card works is that I had to move it from my checkings to my savings to. So I can't get another night.
I'll see you later, dude.
Later, dude. As you guys noticed before this, there was 0 gap here. So what we plan on doing is we plan on lifting it up by putting a couple washers. Don't worry, the way Ferrari does it is the same exact thing. They put a little space, a shim is what it's called, what they like to call it, but it's a washer. So we're gonna put a little washer back there, try to raise it up just a little bit so that it's no longer contacting this, because if TJ chooses to get a new tail light, we don't want the same thing happening.
So the only damage on this taillight is right there.
Spider chipping.
I don't know if that's worth replacing. What do you think?
I think this is like a set would probably like be $5,000, so I don't know.
Probably not worth fixing. This is really expensive.
How much are the headlights?
Headlights are $5,000 for both. So we've officially stripped down the car all the way to pretty much the bare bones that we needed to double check to see if anything was screwed up in the rear. There's nothing bent or broken in the rear. The taillights and all those body pieces that we removed, being the rear deck lid, you have the rear fascia, then you have like the rear vent fascias, a whole bunch of pieces. They are actually all movable. So as Calvin said earlier, just like with the Ferrari pieces, all those can be adjusted by entering in like little washers or shims that will allow it to sit higher or lower so we can kind of control the body paneling shape. And with those taillights, there's adjustability. So we should be in the clear with that. The next real step is to get this car off to the frame machine, which we can't do till we get our parts in. So we're gonna be making a trip down to Audi in the next few days and make a wholesale account with them because we have a business account, and then we can order parts directly from Audi at a wholesale price, which is awesome. Get those things delivered, and we can put on the new arms so this car can actually roll. At that point, I can go go to the frame shop and we could make sure the car is straight, and we can weld in this new bracket skeleton that has to go in. And then we're on the home stretch. So this car really favored us big because there's no hidden damage in this car other than what we've already known. And there's no real cracks or anything on the firewall. They just marked it here and here. So there might be a dimple there or something. We'll get all the exact measurements once we're at the frame shop so we can get the real scoop and get the real measurements on it. But this car has been a lot of fun to work on today because it's really easy. Everything is modular, whereas in previous cars we've seen it all be one big unit. But because it's modular, it makes our life a lot easier when it goes to rebuilding it. The floor is littered with R8 parts. We're gonna start organizing this, but this is where today's video is gonna come to an end. Guys, if you made it this far, give the video a thumbs up because that means you enjoyed it and it helps us a ton. So please do that and comment something down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next R8 rebuilding video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and keep moving forward. I'm putting this at the end because if you stay to the end, the most likely in the Twitch game. The Twitch game is stronger than any game I've ever seen. I've been streaming for 4 hours. Everyone, get your clout shout out right here. That is for everyone who's in the Twitch game. I appreciate you. I'm just gonna let this roll. Damn. Oh my God. Everyone's just gifting subs. Everyone's just gifting subs. Everyone's just gifting subs. Twitch fam, oh my. Dude, the blooper, you guys are actually insane. If you're not part of the Twitch fam, you're missing out. We're doing a giveaway because we broke 1,000 subs on Twitch. We're doing a big giveaway that's only Twitch only. Shout out to the Twitch fam. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.